Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Yatha Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivashikam Vidam Sya Om Ajnana Timarandasya Gyananjana Shilakya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gorva Bistam Supurakam Guraganara Sesha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samastabeda Nipanam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govinda Vidam Ujwalam Varatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Mande Vishwaguruncha Divyad Bhagavat Premno Ibija Pradam Devam Divyatanum Suchandabaranam Balarka Shelanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sadekavaranam Vairagya Vidyamburim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Manditam Shubhanam Mandeka Sharanam Nyashishvara Sridharam Vanchakopatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyevaja Patitanam Pavenibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. Translation and commentary by phone call. The translation commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This is Madhya-lila, chapter 12, the cleansing of the Gundicha temple. So right now we're at the beginning of the chapter where the king wants to meet Mahaprabhu and have Mahaprabhu's darshan. Mahaprabhu is refusing to everyone, but then Mahaprabhu said, well, if you're all determined, then it is said that meeting with the son is like meeting with the person, so you can bring the king's son to see me. Okay? Tabi Rai Jai Sab Raja Reko Hila Prabhura Gyayatara Putra Loya Aila. Ramananda Roy then went to inform the king about his talks with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and following the Lord's orders brought the king's son to see him. Sundara Rajar Putra Shamala Baran Kishore Bayasa Dirga Kamala Nayan. The prince, just entering upon his youth, was very beautiful. He was blackish in complexion and had large lotus eyes. Pitambara Darig Ange Ratna Abaran Sri Krishna Smarane Teho Hoila Udipan. The prince was dressed in yellow cloth, and there were jeweled ornaments decorating his body. Therefore, anyone who saw him would remember Lord Krishna. Tarideki Mahaprabhu Krishna Smriti Hoila. Prema Veshe Tari Mili Kohite Lagila. Seeing the boy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately remembered Krishna. Meeting the boy in ecstatic love, the Lord began to speak. E Mahabhagavat Jahara Darshane Brajendra Nandana Smriti Hoy Sarvajane. Here is a great devotee, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. Upon seeing him, everyone can remember Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj. In his Anubhashya, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur states that a materialist mistakenly accepts the body and mind as the source of material enjoyment. In other words, a materialist accepts the bodily conception of life. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not regard the son of Maharaj Pratraparudu with the idea that he was a materialist, being the son of a materialist, nor did he consider himself the enjoyer. Mayavadi philosophers make a great mistake by assuming that the Satchidananda Vigraha, the transcendental form of the Lord, is like a materialistic body. It's like a material body. However, there is no material contamination in transcendence, nor is there any possibility of imagining a spirituality in matter. One cannot accept matter as spirit, as indicated by the technical words Boma Idyadi. Materialistic Mayavadis imagine the form of God in matter, although according to their imagination, God is unlimitedly formless. This is simply mental speculation. Even though Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Lord himself, he placed himself in the position of a gopi. He also accepted the king's son directly as the son of Maharaj Nanda, Brajendra Nandana Hari. This is perfect vision according to the direction of the Vedic culture as confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam Pandita Samadarshana. Such acceptance of the absolute truth according to Vaishnava philosophy is explained in both the Mundaka Upanishad and the Katha Upanishad in the following words. Nayam atma pravachanena labhyo na medaya na bahuna shrutena yam evaisha vrinute tena labhyast tasyaisha atma vivrunute tanum swam. The Supreme Lord is not obtained by expert explanations, by vast intelligence, nor even by much hearing. He is obtained only by one whom he he is obtained only by one whom he himself chooses. Okay. Doesn't matter if they just hear, that's enough. To such a person, he manifests his own form. The living entity is entangled in material existence due to his lack of such spiritual vision. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has sung in his Kalyana Kalpataru, Samsara Asya Prakriti Bhajya Purusha Abhimane Mari. When the living entity comes to the material world, he thinks himself the enjoyer. Thus he becomes more and more entangled. Kritartha hoilanami iharadarshane etabole punatare hoila lingane. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, I have become very much obligated just by seeing this boy. After seeing this, the Lord again embraced the prince. So Mahaprabhu originally said that he didn't want to meet with the king because the king he's considered to be the head of all materialists. But he didn't. He said that, okay, in the Vedas it says that the son is meeting with the son is like meeting the father. So I'll meet with the king's son. Now the prince, the king's son, was very young and had a darkish complexion, was dressed like Krishna in a yellow dhoti and garments, and he had jewels. So he reminded Mahaprabhu of Krishna. So Krishna was very happy seeing him, and he embraced him, and he said, oh, here, this boy looks like the son of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna. So we'll see the result of this. Kritarda hoilina ami iharadarshane etaboli punatare koila alingane. Mahaprabhu continued, I've become very much obligated just by seeing this boy. After saying this, the Lord again embraced the prince. Prabhu sparshe raja putrer hoila premabej Sweda Kampa, Ashru, Stamba, Pulaka, Bishesh. As soon as the prince was touched by Mahaprabhu, symptoms of ecstatic love immediately manifested themselves in his body. These symptoms included perspiration, trembling, tears, being stunned, and jubilation. So in other words, as soon as Mahaprabhu embraced the prince, Mahaprabhu, when he embraces somebody, or he talks to somebody, or somebody sees him, they become... their whole consciousness becomes transformed, and they receive from Mahaprabhu, Krishna Prema. That's a special effect. It's like electricity. If you touch a live wire, then you become affected. So like that, Mahaprabhu had converted practically all of South India. Anyone who saw him, heard from him, touched him, was embraced by him, they all became transformed. Krishna Krishna kohe nache koraye rodan tara bhagya deke slaga kore bhaktagan. Someone say, is that some kind of supreme mystic power? Well, yes, in one way, but it's just the effect. Mahaprabhu is the Lord himself, so you come in, he can give that kind of supreme consciousness to anyone he wants. And that was his purpose in going to South India. And now the prince, by coming in contact with him, is also become transformed. The boy began to cry and dance, and he chanted, Krishna, Krishna. Upon seeing his bodily symptoms and his chanting and dancing, all the devotees praised him for his great spiritual fortune. Tabu Mahaprabhu Taridharya Koraila Nityase Amay Miliha E Agyadila. At that time Mahaprabhu calmed the youth and ordered him to come there daily to meet him. Vidaiha Raya Aila Rajaputre Loya Rajasuka Paila Putra Cheshtadikya. Ramananda Roy and the boy then departed from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Ramananda Roy took him back to the king's palace. The king was very happy when he heard of his son's activities. So Ramananda Roy had accompanied the prince, and after all this happened, then Ramananda Roy took the prince back to the king's palace. Putre Lingana Kori Prima Vista Hoila Sakat Parasha Jena Mahaprabhu Paila. Just by embracing his son, the king was filled with ecstatic love, just as if he had touched Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly. Say Hoite Bhagyavan Rajara Nandan Prabhu Bhakta Gana Madhye Hoila Ekjan. From then on, the fortunate prince was one of the most intimate devotees of the Lord. So from then on, the boy wasn't just a prince, but he became a great follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Emata Mahaprabhu Bhaktagan Sange Nirantara Krida Kore Sankirtan Range. Thus, Mahaprabhu acted in the society of his pure devotees, performing his pastimes and spreading the Sankirtan movement. Acharjari Bhakta Kore Prabhure Nimantran Tahan Bhikka Kore Loya Bhaktagan. Some of the prominent devotees, like Advaita Acharya, used to invite Mahaprabhu to take his meals at their homes. The Lord accepted such invitations accompanied by his devotees. Ematanana Range Dina Katagela Jagannath Ratha-yatra Nikata Hoila. In this way the Lord passed some days in great jubilation. Then the Ratha-yatra festival, the car festival of Lord Jagannath, approached. Pratame Kashi Mishre Prabhu Bolaila Parichapatra Sarvabhome Bolaya Anila. Mahaprabhu first of all called for Kashi Mishra, then for the superintendent of the temple, then for Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So, the incident with the king wanting to, Maharaj Prachaparudra, wanting to meet with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu refusing, the king's determination to meet him. This is underlying current that goes on for several chapters. It's like something that's going on. The king is very determined to get the darshan of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but Mahaprabhu is continually refusing, saying, I don't want to meet with a king. He said, if I meet with a king, people will think I'm just trying to get some favor or some, So he says, I'm not going to meet with a king. But the king is determined. The king is actually a devotee of the Lord. And they tell that to Mahaprabhu. Oh, he's your devotee. Mahaprabhu says, maybe so, but just by the fact of the name king, everything is ruined. So I don't want to meet with him. But actually this goes on, and then later, some of you won't be here, but then later, when the Ratha-yatra festival is taking place, the king comes out in his royal dress and he's sweeping in front of the cars. And that very much, Mahaprabhu has been softened his heart's been softened by so many events. How the king is a devotee, how the king, incident with the king's son, how then the king so nicely treated Ramananda Roy, who was working for the king. It was a minister, and Ramananda Roy said, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be with Mahaprabhu and serve him. And then the king said, yes, you should do that, and I will continue to pay your salary without even reducing it anything, because the king was very happy at Ramananda. So Mahaprabhu, when he hears of all these things, he's moved toward, to towards the king. So then later, during the Ratha-yatra festival, when after Mahaprabhu and the devotees have danced for some time and they're all tired, Mahaprabhu is rest in the park, and then the king comes not in his royal dress, he comes dressed as a humble Vaishnava, and then he begins reciting from verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam about the Ras-lila, and Mahaprabhu acts as if he doesn't know him, because everything is happening automatically by the Lord's internal energy. But he embraces the king and says, "You've given me so much, and I have nothing to give you in return." And the king becomes, ecstatic. And apparently it's saying Mahaprabhu didn't know who he was, but in succeeding chapters, Mahaprabhu, after that, freely meets with the king, and talks with the king. So maybe he didn't know who the king was, but after that he was no longer, maintaining the distance from the king. So anyway, now it's time for the Ratha-yatra festival. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first of all called for Kashi Mishra, then for the superintendent in the temple, then for Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Tinjan, Pashe Prabhu, Hashya Kohila, Gundicha Mandira Marjan, Seva Madhya-lila. When these three people came before the Lord, he begged them for permission to wash the temple known as Gundicha. So that the Ratha-yatra goes from Nilachala, or the Jagannath Puri temple, to Sundarachala, or the Gundicha temple. And this, I don't know how many miles it is, maybe 3-4 miles, or a little bit more. And because the deities then go to the Gundicha temple, and it's been disoccupied for maybe up to a year each time between the festivals, then Mahaprabhu would regularly, before the day before the Ratha-yatra festival, he would go with his men and wash the Gundicha temple. So when these three people came before the Lord, he begged them for permission to wash the temple known as Gundicha. Padicha kohe ami sab sevak tomar jay tomara icha se kartavya amar. Upon hearing the Lord's request for permission to wash the Gundicha temple, the Padicha, the superintendent of the temple, said, "My dear Lord, we are all your servants. Whatever you desire is our duty to perform." Viseshi Rajar Agya Hayache Amare Prabhur Agya Jay Se Shigra Koribare. The king gave a special order for me to do without delay whatever your lordship desires, whatever your lordship orders. So the superintendent in the temple, he's also under the king's, employed by the king, and he says, Mahaprabhu says he wants to wash the Gundicha temple, and he's told, yes, you can do whatever you like. I've already received orders from the king to help with whatever you desire. Then Mahaprabhu says, Tomara Jogya Seva Nahi Mandira Marjan Aek Lila Kora Jay Tomaraman. But the superintendent adds, my dear Lord, washing the temple is not service befitting you. Nevertheless, if you wish to do so, it is to be accepted as one of your pastimes. So it's not proper for you to clean the temple yourself, but if you wish to do that, we'll just consider that this is your eternal Leela, which it is, that this is your part of your pastimes. Kintu gata samarjani bahuta chahiye agyadeho ajisab ihan amidiye. To wash the temple, you need many water pots and brooms. Therefore, order me. I can immediately bring all these things to you. So we saw that attitude on the part of Srila Govinda Maharaj. If there was any necessity, he was the Acharya, but if there was any necessity in the ashram, he would do that. When he's like I said, the Acharya. When in the women's building, when the drainage was blocked, he went with other devotees, and they were dressed in gumshas, which means like cloths that, cloths that you could get dirty and then, clean, and when when you bathe. He went into the women's ashram, and he was, with himself and some of the other senior devotees even, he was unclogging the drainage, himself wading in the drains or whatever just to, do that. That's, he considered it the Lord's service. He wasn't thinking that this is beneath my dignity. And that Padicca tells Mahaprabhu, it's not really good for you to do this kind of service where you're just cleaning a temple. But if you want to do that, I'm already been told to do whatever you ask, so I'll just consider it as part of your pastimes. So then he says, you'll need many water pots and brooms, therefore I can bring all these things to you. Nutan ekshata gata shata samarjani padichani yadila prabhur ichajani. As soon as the superintendent understood the desire of the Lord, he immediately delivered 100 new water pots and 100 brooms for sweeping the temple. Aradine prabhate loya nijagan srihaste sabarange lepila chandan. The next day, early in the morning, the Lord took his personal associates with him, and with his own hand smeared sandalwood pulp on their bodies. So this is also something Govinda Maharaj would do before we left on the Navadip Dham Parikrama. Everyone would meet at the samadhi of Srila Guru Maharaj, and Govinda Maharaj would put sandalwood pulp on your head and give you a garland before you left. So the next day early in the morning, the Lord took his personal associates with him, and with his own hand put sandalwood pulp on them. Shri Haste Dila Sabare Ek Marjani Sabgana Loya Prabhu Chalila Apani. He then gave each devotee a broom with his own hand, and taking all of them personally with him, the Lord went to Gundicha. Gundicha Mandire Gela Korite Marjan Pratame Marjani Loya Korilas Shodan. In this way, the Lord and his associates went to cleanse the Gundicha temple. At first, they cleansed the temple with the brooms. Bitara Mandira Upar Sakala Majila Simasana Maje Puna Stapana Korila. The Lord cleansed everything inside the temple very nicely, including the ceiling. He then took up the sitting place, Singhasan, and cleansed it, and again put it in its original place. Chota Bora Mandir, Koila, Marjana, Shodan, Pache Taiche, Shodila, Sri Jagamohan. Thus the Lord and his companions cleansed and swept all the temple's buildings, big and small, and finally cleansed the area between the temple and the kirtan hall. So the cleansing the Nat Mandir, the temple, all the different rooms, and there goes the electricity.
And the internet as well.
And the internet as well. Oh, it's back. No, it's gone.
Just like India. All that road work. They're doing all that road closing.
Yeah. Charidike Shata Bhakta Samarjani Charidike Shata Bhakta Samarjani Kore Apane Shodena Prabhu Shikana Sabare. Is this back on?
He goes into a recording mode by default, and I think he will upload everything at the end.
Is it still recording?
He says low network recorded. So I believe.
Is it on? You can see on the settings. Oh, later we may not be on JM House 5. It might have switched to another network.
Oh, maybe.
Because we didn't even set it.
We didn't go into settings.
Charidike Shatabhakta Samarjani Kore Apani Shodena Prabhu Shikana Sabare. Indeed, hundreds of devotees were engaged in the cleansing all around the temple, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was personally carrying out the operation just to instruct others. Okay, well, I'm going to just take this as a clue, maybe, and just kind of... Should we stop here, or no? Okay. Okay.
9, 10.
Is it still recording?
It is.
Okay. Okay. Charidike Shatabhakta Samarjani Kore Apani Shodena Prabhu Shikana Sabare. Indeed, hundreds of devotees were engaged in cleansing all around the temple, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was personally carrying out the operation just to instruct others. Premulase Shodena Loyan Krishnanam Bhaktagan Krishna Kohe Korinijadkam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu washed and cleansed the temple in great jubilation, chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna all the time. Similarly, all the devotees were also chanting and at the same time performing their respective duties. Duli Dushara Tanu Shikit Dekite Shoda Duli Dushara Tanu Dekite Shoban Kahan Ashrujole Kore Samarjan. The entire beautiful body of the Lord was covered with dust and dirt. In this way it became transcendently beautiful. At times, when cleansing the temple, the Lord shed tears, and in some places he even cleansed with those tears. Bhogamandir Shodana Kore Shodila Prangan Sakala Vasha Krame Korila Shodan. After this, the place where the deity's food was kept, the Bhogamandir, was cleansed. Then the yard was cleansed, and then all the residential quarters, one after another. Trinaduli, Jikura, Sab Ekatra Korea, Bahirvase Loya, Felai, Bahira Korea. After Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu collected all the straw, dust, and grains of sand in one place, he gathered it all in his cloth and threw it outside. Emata Bhaktagan, Kore Nijabase, Trinaduli, Bahire, Felaya, Paramaharishe. Following the example of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the devotees in great jubilation began to gather straws and dust with their own cloths and throw all this throw the straw and dust outside the temple. Prabhu kohe ke kota korijacha samarjan trinaduli dekile janiba parishram. The Lord then told all the devotees, I can tell how much you have labored and how well you have cleansed the temple simply by seeing all the straw and dust you have collected outside. Sabar jantana boja ekatra korila sab hoite prabhur boja adika hoila. Even though all the devotees collected dirt in one pile, the dirt collected by Mahaprabhu was much greater. Emata abhyantara korila marjan puna sabakare dila korea bartan korila bantan. After the inside of the temple was cleansed, the Lord again allotted areas for the devotees to cleanse. Shukmaduli trina kakara sabkoraha dura baloha mate shodan koraha prabhura antarpur. The Lord then ordered everyone to cleanse the inside of the temple very perfectly by taking finer dust, straws, and grains of sand and throwing them outside. So they're cleaning now very meticulously. Sab Vaishnava Loya Jabe Duli Bar Shodila Dekima Prabhur Mone Santosha Hoila. After Mahaprabhu and all the Vaishnavas cleansed the temple for the second time, Mahaprabhu was very happy to see the cleansing work. Arashata Jana Shata Gate Jalab Bori Pratame Loya Ache Kala Apekka Kori. When the temple was being swept, about 100 men stood ready with filled water pots and then simply awaited the Lord's order to throw the water from the pots. Jala Ani Boli Jabe Mahaprabhu Kohila Tabe Shata Gata Ani Prabhu Age Dila. As soon as Mahaprabhu called for water, all the men immediately brought the 100 water pots, which were completely filled, and delivered them before the Lord. Pratame Korila Prabhu Mandira Prakalan Urdwa Ardobiti Griha Madhya Simasana. In this way, Mahaprabhu first washed the main temple and then thoroughly washed the ceiling, the walls, the floors, the sitting place, the simhasan, and everything else within the room. Kapara bariya jal urdwe chalaila sejali urdwa shode biti prakalila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself and his devotees began to throw water onto the ceiling. When the water fell, it washed the walls and floor. Sri Haste Koran Simhasanera Marjan Prabhu Age Jala Ani Deya Bhaktagan. Then Mahaprabhu began to wash the sitting place of Lord Jagannath with his own hands, and all the devotees began to bring water to the Lord. Bhaktagan Kori Griha Madhya Prakalan Ajo Nish Bhaktagana Kore Griha Madhya Prakalan Nija Nija Haste Kore Mandira Marjan. All the devotees within the temple began to wash. Each one had a broom in his hand, and in this way they cleansed the temple of the Lord. Keho Jalani Deya Mahaprabhu Kore Keho Jal Deyatara Chanana Upare. Someone brought water to pour into the hands of Mahaprabhu, and someone poured water in his lotus feet. Okay. Keho Lukaya Kore Sejao Pan, Keho Magiloy, Keho Anye Koredan. The water that fell from the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu was drunk by someone who hid himself. Someone else begged for that water, and another person was giving that water in charity. Garaduli, Prana, Likai, Jala, Shadidila, Sejale, Prangana, Sab, Bariya, Prohila. After the room was washed, the water was let out through an outlet, and it then flowed and filled the yard outside. Nijabastre, Koila Prabhu, Nijabastre Koila Prabhu Griha Samarjan Mahaprabhu Nijabastre Majila Simhasana. The Lord mopped the room with his own clothes, and he polished the throne with them also. Shatagata Jala Hoila Mandira Marjan Mandira Shauriya Koila Jaina Nijaman. See, this kind of clothes is different than other clients. You can use it to clean things. In this way, all the rooms were cleansed with 100 water pots. After the rooms had been cleansed, the minds of the devotees were as clean as the rooms. Nirmala Shitala Snigdha Korila Mandire Apana Ridoy Jaina Darila Bahire. When the temple was cleansed, it was purified, cool, and pleasing, just as if the Lord's own pure mind had appeared. Shata Shata Jan Jal Bare Sarobare Gate Stana Nahikeho Kupe Jalabare. Since hundreds of men were engaged in bringing water from the lake, there was no place to stand on the banks. Consequently, someone began to draw water from a well. Purnakumbha Loya Aishe Shatabhaktagan Shunyagat Loya Jai Ara Shatajan. Hundreds of devotees brought water in the pots, and hundreds took the empty pots away to fill them up again. Nityananda Dvaita Swarup Bharati Puri Iha Binu Arasab Anejal Bari. With the exception of Nityananda Prabhu, Advaitacharya, Swarup Damodar, Brahmananda Bharati, and Paramananda Puri, everyone was engaged in filling the water pots and bringing them there. So, what time do the different devotees have to leave?
I know I'm departing at around 11-ish to take.
What time do you have to leave?
We don't have like a set time. We're probably going to leave around after lunch for Sean.
Does anyone have planes to meet?
We left already. Matsu left this morning, and also, of course, Jagannath and Liam left this morning.
Yeah, I know. I saw them leave. Is there more persons leaving in?
Jayavati and her husband and son are leaving today with Ridaway. We'll take them to San Jose at 11.
Okay, at 11. Okay, at 11.
And then tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. with Mimi and her family and
Amiya Kanti, when do you and Jagannath have to leave? Tomorrow, okay. So, okay, I just want to check if I can keep on reading, then it doesn't interfere with the schedule of anyone. Okay, so everyone who's here, they're okay. Okay. I started late. Little incident in the house, some big glass pot shattering on the floor, so. Happens. Gati gati teki gata gata bangi gela shata shata gata lok tahan loya aila. Many of the water pots were broken when people collided with one another, and hundreds of men had to bring new water pots to fill. So these are earthen, clay water pots. Jalabari gara doya kore haridwani Krishna haridwani bina Aranahi Shuni. Some people were filling the pots and others were washing the rooms, but everyone was engaged in chanting the holy name of Krishna and Hari. Krishna Krishna Kohe Kore Krishna Krishna Kohe Kore Gatera Prartan Krishna Krishna Kohe Kore Gata Samarpan. One person begged for a water pot by chanting the holy names Krishna Krishna, and another delivered a pot while chanting Krishna Krishna. Jai Jai Kohe Se Kohe Krishna Name Krishna Nama Hoila Sanketa Sabak Kame. Whenever anyone had to speak, he did so by uttering the holy name of Krishna. Consequently, the holy name of Krishna became an indication for everyone who wanted something. So we had this nice Govinda Mela here for since Wednesday. I guess it was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We should do that. I mean, I like having it here every year. We could because we have room for tents and all kinds of other things, but we could have it in other places if people wanted that too. But we can certainly have it here, and we can maybe even have it longer than 5 days if we wanted. We could maybe expand it too.
Kind of in a way, it was a little bit because of the retreat the weekend before.
Yeah.
So in a sense, for some people, it did kind of go a little longer.
Yeah, for them, and for some of you it went longer. But we could maybe make the Govinda Mela longer, and then the retreat could be included in it or something like that, or however it's practical to do it. But we could have it longer.
2 weekends.
Yeah, 2 weekends would be good, and then the week in between.
I have one very crazy suggestion that I hear that there's devotees from Florida, Alachua, and my brother's mother is his Maharaj and goes to Bihari, and goes to Bihari's childhood from Jagannath Swami. I haven't asked her, but they have a lot of land. I asked her what Swami Maharaj's room. So I don't know, they have a lot of land. Maybe they would someday love to host something in Alachua with the devotees over there.
Yeah, could do that too. Could be more than one festival a year. But we also, you could do this anywhere. You could do this in Salt Lake City. All you have to do is arrange some place where you could, have the devotees, and then places where you could have the programs. I've seen Ashram Maharaj does his camp in Mexico in all kinds of different cities. He rotates cities, and in many cities they just have some house there. But like you saw in Tijuana, they just have a house in Tijuana. But that program didn't even take place in Tijuana. It took place in Rosarito by the ocean, and they rented a whole park, and then they had, so we had the park, and we had swimming pools, and we had this and that, and had facilities.
So beautiful, there's so much like being in India.
Yeah, so it'll be like in India because we bring 100 devotees there, and that'll make it like being in India.
Exactly. Actually, it was all of you sannyasis and saffron. I think that it's like an energy right there.
Yeah. So yeah, but I think we should have even Govinda Mela a little bit longer, a few more days longer, and we could have, we could have it on different places, could be moving it around. But we have, but now Chuggy Marsh have bought these tents and everything, and we have land here to pitch the tents,
And it's good for the ashram because that way so many scenes where, refrain.
Yeah, but if other ashrams wanted to have it there too, they could do that. We could have it everywhere. Krishna Krishna Kohe Gare Gatera Partan Krishna Krishna Kohe Kore Gata Samarpan. One person begged for a water pot by chanting the holy names Krishna Krishna, and another delivered a pot while chanting Krishna Krishna. They're not saying anything else. They're just Krishna, everything's Krishna Krishna. Here, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, like that. Jai Jai Kohe Se Kohe Krishna Name, Krishna Nama Hoila Sanketa Sabakami. Whenever anyone had to speak, he did so by uttering the holy name of Krishna. Consequently, the holy name of Krishna became an indication for everyone who wanted something. Premaveshe Prabhu Kohe Krishna Krishna Nam Ekale Premaveshe Kore Shata Janer Kam. As Mahaprabhu was vibrating the holy name of Krishna in ecstatic love, he himself was performing the work of hundreds of men. Shata Haste Koranchena Kalana Marjan Pratijana Pashe Jai Karana Shikan. It appeared as though Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were cleansing and washing with 100 hands. He approached every devotee just to teach him how to work. Balo Karmadeki Tare Kore Prashamshan Manisna Milile Kore Pavitra Bhartsan. When he saw someone doing nicely, the Lord praised him. But if he saw that someone was not working to his satisfaction, he immediately chastised that person, not bearing him any grudge. Tumi Balo Kore Jacha Shikaha Anjare Emata Balo Karma Seho Chena Kore. The Lord would say, you have done well. Please teach this to others so that they may act in the same way. Ekata Shunya Sabe Sankuchita Hoya Balomate Karma Kore Sabe Manadiya. As soon as they heard Mahaprabhu say this, everyone became ashamed. Thus the devotees began to work with great determination. Well, if you say someone doing well, he could say, I don't know if he's saying this. You have done well. Please teach this to others so that they may act in the same way. I don't know if he's saying that to someone who's working well and then everyone's ashamed because they understand this person's working better than us. Or I don't know if he's saying that to somebody who's not working well, like saying to him, you have done well. Please teach this to others so that you may act in this, so they may act in the same way. So I'm not sure who he's talking to, but it says, as soon as they heard Mahaprabhu say this, everyone became ashamed. Thus the devotees began to work with great attention. Well, I believe he's saying it to who's working well. Then others are thinking, please teach this to others so that, we're not working as well as that person, so he should teach us. So then they work harder. Tabe Prakalana Koila Sri Jagamohan Bhoga Mandirari Tabe Koila Prakalan. They washed the Jagamohan area and then the place where food was kept. All other places were also washed. Yeah. Who works very hard and could teach others is Srila Bhakti Kushamashra Maharaj. Guy, does he work hard? He just arrives new at a place. He immediately starts. He immediately starts washing pots, feeding cows, doing all kinds of things. He's just like that. Then you're around him and you start to feel like, boy, is he doing a lot? I'm not doing anything. And watch the Jagamohan area, and then the place where food was kept. All other places were also washed. Nata Shala Duila Chatvara Prangan Prakashal Shala Adikori Korila Prakalan. In this way, the meeting place was washed, the entire yard, the raised sitting places, the kitchen, and every other room. Mandirer Chaturdik Prakalan Koila Sab Antarpur Balo Mate Deo Jaila. Then all places around the temple were thoroughly washed within and without. So I'm going to more or less stop here. Now the thing is that Mahaprabhu is showing that by cleansing the temple, this is like how you're supposed to cleanse your own heart. You're supposed to cleanse your own heart. Why? The Gundicha temple is that the Jagannath Puri, the Jagannath Ratha-yatra will take the deities to that temple. So you're supposed to also cleanse your heart so that the Lord will be sitting in your heart. If your heart, it says in the Gita that the Lord is sitting, what is it? The Lord is sitting in everyone's heart. How's that verse begin? Sarvasya chaham ridi sanivisto mata smritir jnanam apavanam cha. What is it? Apavanam cha. Vedais cha sarvairaham eva vedyo vedantakrit veda vedeva cha. So sarvasya chaham ridi sanivisto. The Lord is seated in everyone's heart. From him come the knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, he's to be known. He's the knower of the Vedas, and by all the Vedas, he's to be known. So, the Lord is already in your heart, but how can you perceive that if you don't cleanse your heart? Just like the temple is kept clean, the altar is kept clean. So you're supposed to keep your heart cleansed so that you can directly perceive the Lord within your heart. It says, Premanjana, Charita, Bhakti Vilochanena, Santasa Deva, Rida Yeshu Vilokayanti, Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Guna Sarupam, Govindamari Parusha Tamaham Bhajami. If your eyes are covered with the ointment of love of God, then you can see the Lord, you can see Shri Radha and Krishna in your heart at every moment. So in order to be able to come to that point of receiving the Lord in your heart, you have to cleanse your heart. Mahaprabhu says, Chaito Darpanam Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. You have to cleanse, by chanting the holy name and doing devotional service, you'll cleanse your heart. Then your heart becomes a proper sitting place for the Lord. Then you're all right. So Mahaprabhu is showing by cleansing the temple of Gundicha that it's like cleansing one. One also has to take great endeavor to cleanse one's own heart. Otherwise, a heart becomes, full of unwanted things like envy and malice and all these other things that can exist within or jealousy, all these things that can exist within our heart. We're supposed to take them out of our heart. We're supposed to cleanse our heart. So anyway, this chapter is something about doing with that. And if I could read more, which I'm not going to do now because Srimati is cooking breakfast and it's ready, I'm sure. So she's worked hard, and I'm not going to make her food get cold. So we're going to go. Oh, you're happy with that? Okay. Why, you're hungry? That's good. So we'll sing Hari Haraya and continue. Unfortunately, so many devotees are leaving today. See, if we had another week of the Govinda Mela, they wouldn't be leaving. What is that, a big sandesh or something? What is that thing?
It's like a little seat.
A seat?
Yeah.
Made out of foam, okay.
Mm-hmm. You can try and eat it if you want, Maharaj.
What?
You can try and eat it. It does look
Yeah, they're trying to make phones that big too. Looks like nowadays the phones are so big it's like carrying a blackboard. It's like carrying a blackboard around with you.
The Ten Commandment tablet in the phone.
They're going to make them phones flexible so they can stretch from this ear around your head and then here. All right. Hari Haraya Namah Krishna Jaravaya Namah. Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Varanga Gandharvika Giridhari Juki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramansa Paravajaka Charyasta Tara Sada Shishiman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramansa Paravajaka Charyasta Tara Sada Shishiman Srila Bhakti Rakshidhar Dev Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Sakshinananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanagwa Guru Varga Ki Jai. Namachar Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhakta Raghunath Jiva Gopal Bhadadash Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Prem Se Go Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Bhagavad Ki Jai. Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Vishwavaranya Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmala Acharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Nanda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Ki Jai. Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Saparshada Shri Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Shri Kuladvi Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Soquel Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan Shyam Kunda Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Jog Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Gaur Brahmanand.
Srila Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj Ki Jai.
So, actually,